welcome back. We're back to Satisfactory. You might notice that it looks a little different. I decided to put a pause on my other playthrough. I had gotten a little burned out on recording video for it. We could talk about that later. But today, March 17th, happy St. Patrick's Day, is the release of 1.2 Experimental. You can see a nice fresh title screen, and we are going to check it out. There's a lot of cool things that I'm very interested in. So here in the options under World, we have weather presets, and I have set weather preset to the Great Massage 2 ABB, wind and rain with a touch of overcast and thunderstorms. I have the weather effects on. Now, when we go to start a new game, we're going to say, let's see, 1, 2, experimental. We're going to skip the onboarding. Nobody needs to see that again. And then we're going to look here. Advanced game settings has now been renamed creative mode. We're going to look here at this new tab, game modes. And it says you're about to enable game modes. This will change the default experience of the game and affect all players. Achievements are not blocked. Game modes cannot be edited after a session is created. So we could change cost multipliers. The number of space elevator parts needed, the amount of recipes needed, cost of recipes, excuse me, and the power consumption. I would like to do double elevator parts. I would like to do 1.25. We're going to go real easy on the recipes, and we're going to stick with standard power consumption. World randomization. This lets you randomize resource nodes in the world. So I want to go with random. We also have basic resource rich, which increases iron, coal, copper, deuterium, and limestone. Advanced resource rich, which increases quartz, sulfur, bauxite, SAM, and uranium. And fossil fuel rich, which increases oil, coal, and sulfur. I am not really interested in any of those. We're just going to go with a random. Resource node purity, because we increase the cost of the recipes, I'm going to go with mostly pure. Mostly affects nodes by decreasing or increasing their purity by 1 level. So we will, I think we will now avoid impure and have only pure and normal. Alright, and I want to go with grass fields because I watched Valhalla and Pickle's live stream earlier, and he had some very interesting node combinations there in the grass fields where there are a lot of nodes very close to each other. So let's see what we get. Let's confirm. Alright, so I ended up having to check the game file integrity, and it did find one file that was not properly downloaded, I guess, and the game loaded up immediately after that. So the seed is different. I started fresh, but I will grab that seed if anybody cares. So let's see what we've got here. We're starting with beyond onboarding, so we do have a few items in our pack, and put our weapon up and search for some iron. All right, let's look for it and see what else there might be here. Ooh, okay, almost fell off the cliff.
Potential edible collected. If consumed before authorized as compatible with the human digestive system by
down in
FICSIT,
the
the
pit.
consumer is responsible for any and all consequences. Store this potential resource for later use.
Do we think we can take him on? I'm not so sure. Let's see what else there is out here. Another one out that direction. Let's go this direction instead. Half a kilometer, but we can manage
Samples of new alien species
Cool.
acquired. Notable features are blunt teeth, suggesting it is herbivorous, and a thickly plated skull and spine, suggesting it is proficient at inflicting and receiving blunt force trauma. Preserve the remains for later study.
I believe this was copper in the original map. More coal. Okay. And iron. Alright. Should be a couple nodes over here if I remember correctly. Let's see what those are. Appears to be iron. It is. It was an interesting exploding. Okay, so here's iron, and this one is iron. Hey, I really want the hub here. Oh, there's a limestone. I believe this was copper before. No, it's not limestone, it's sulfur. Alright. Well, let's get that sulfur.
Unknown chemical element collected. This non-metallic and multivalent element seems to be present only in a solid state and exhibits a most pungent smell. It is fortunate FICSIT helmets are of such high quality. Store this potential resource for later use.
Now we'll be able to get our novelisks off real quick, I think, on this one. Let's get barrel nuts.
Potential edible collected. Eating it and surviving does not count as a valid field test and does not generate enough data for FICSIT to make an informed decision. Store this potential resource for later use.
That's the way to the sand. What's over there? Deuterium? Could be deuterium, could be copper. Let's see. Oh.
Samples of unknown alien species acquired. Initial data suggests these are predators, but notably they do not have a traditional mouth or eyes. There are, however, numerous cavities on their head which could fulfill a similar function. Preserve the remains for later study.
Alright, I wasn't really prepared to fight stingers that early, but we managed it. Oh, another sulfur. Interesting. Very interesting. All right. I didn't mean to build the hub that far away. I meant to build it closer to those two irons over there. Let's just destroy it. Bring it back over. Biofuel going. Biomass, excuse me. Perfect. Let's see. pure limestone. Pure iron. So far, everything I've seen has been pure. It's very interesting. Oh, there's some Caterium.
Unknown metal collected. This metallic element is showing properties similar to those in Group 11 on the periodic table, such as high conductivity and malleability. Store this potential resource for later use.
Stacks of concrete here, very nice. Rotors, that's 3. Rods, 4. Cables, 5. There should be a 6th item around here somewhere. In case you haven't watched me before, there's usually 6 items around the drop pods. Let's start dismantling. Ooh, stators. Fire. There they are, reinforced iron plates. The 6th item. Motors, that's stators. That's... Okay, this one needs power, right? 40 megawatts. That's what we're going to do.
Damaged hard drive successfully acquired. All pioneers are contractually obliged to preserve and secure any recovered hard drives for future analysis, which may result in benefits to the Fix-It mission. Speculation as to why there are crashed freighters in your Fix-It designated zone is discouraged as specified in your contract.
Then we're going to make a constructor. And that was not in a good place. Constructor. Line it up. Iron plate.
Milestone reached. Several new structures are now available for improving factory organization. Foundations provide a building grid, which makes it easier to manage placement of any structure. In the event that you are experiencing amnesia for all events prior to planetfall, be reassured that memories of beloved humans and/or animals would have only been distractions from your important mission.
Here they are. Smelters. Let's go grab some limestone. We'll put those over here. spitter around here and a lizard doggo as well. Not gonna worry about the doggo because I don't have the materials to pen it in.
The astrobiologist Dr. D.M. Mercer was the first to recognize the presence and probable nature of these alien artifacts. These chain-melted state spheres are named in his honor. Each sphere emits a unique signal and will require study to determine local application, store it for later use.
Limestone. Pure limestone. Normal iron. Pure limestone. Interesting. He didn't die to somebody else though. Ooh. Sand. Pure sand right here. That is crazy. Okay.
The strange alien matter, colloquially known as SAM, seems to be in its dormant crystalline state, meaning it won't break down your body into its base atomic components on touch. This living matter is extremely versatile and has countless applications. Store it for later use.
Let's craft a bunch of rods, a bunch of biomass. What we need to do is get our obstacle clearing milestone. Let's see. We're gonna. Oh, we have actually enough cable. Some to spare even. Concrete is the problem. Make a little bit. Back for the limestone. Limestone in here. Alright, here's our 500 screws. Make a few more rods because we're short on those. Alright. Back to the limestone. More limestone. Alright, I'm not liking the fact that limestone is so far away. Alright, this hopefully will be enough for the rest of the concrete we need. Yes, that should be fine. That's not the right ratio. It should be 1.25 times 45. It should be 56.25. Yeah, that's 60. That's kind of a bummer. Alright, we've had enough for the rest of it. Let's fill this back up.
Milestone reached. Solid biofuel, created from any biomass, ensures maximum efficiency of biomass burners. To aid in biofuel production, the chainsaw allows for the removal of tougher wood and coral foliage. Additionally, your pocket dimension has been inflated to increase inventory size. Inspirational note: will you be the Fix-It Employee of the Month? You could be, if you construct, automate, explore and exploit by eliminating all obstacles to efficiency. This isn't just fun, it's contractually mandated, fun.
Have I mentioned that I hate screws? And we can make solid biofuel too, but I'm going to have that done by a constructor. cover now. Of course it's across the way. Wasn't that hard after all. It was all the concrete I had. It's all right.
Samples of unknown alien species acquired. Their weaponized plasma is most likely stored as a stable chemical substance in an organ close to their mouth, and only turns volatile when exposed to one of the chemical elements in the air. Preserve the remains for later study. Unknown crystalline mineral collected. This mineral is composed of the same chemical elements as quartz and may yield similar industrial functions. Store this potential resource for later use.
Grab the summer sleep from here.
The Summer Sloop was named after Marie Somerville, co-founder of FICSIT and head of its R&D department. There are many theories about the origin of this shape and why this symbol mathematically resembling a Mobius strip has found its way into both human and extraterrestrial culture. Thankfully, you don't need to know any of these theories to be a pioneer. Store it for later use. Fun fact: the planet you are on was found and named during a planet spotting event Marie hosted called Marie's Awesome Scientific Search of the Avant-Garde Exoplanets.
Oh, that Marie. So flighty. And it's only a normal node. Alright. Let's make some copper ingots. We'll have the amount we need.
Milestone reached. Supply the molecular analysis machine, referred to as the MAM, with local resources to research and develop new technologies. Potential technologies include exploration tools, weapons, and factory buildings. These are essential for maximizing your pioneer efficiency in alignment with FICSIT's core pillars: construct, automate, explore, and exploit. To advance FICSIT's mission, all notable phenomena, resources, technology, or other influence should be investigated regardless of any perceived danger, as stated in the Pioneer Contract. This unknown chemical element was in reality an unusual mixture of solid sulfide and sulfate materials from which sulfur can be extracted. Sulfur's primary use lies in fertilizers, which we have no use for. Instead, this element enables access to more volatile obstacle clearing and pioneer defending tools. Research completed. Black powder recipe unlocked. New sulfur research available. Your enthusiasm for saving the day has been noted. Your attitude has also been noted. The message you just skipped is one of the winners of the monthly Pioneer's Choice Most Interesting Message Award. What a shame. Strange alien matter analysis. Sometimes toes need to be stepped on for the sake of progress. Fortunately for you, I have no toes. I wonder, is it that you're eager to please, impatient, or very efficient? I have my theory. The remains researched belong to an organism now dubbed the fluffy-tailed hog. It has many characteristics that would likely classify it among the Suidae family were it native to Earth. Rushed research and development is exactly why the Save the Day program exists.
Alright, I think I've got everything that I can get at the moment. I have quite enough Caterium for ingots. Well, I can get reanimated sand.
SAM reanimation recipe unlocked. SAM can now be safely awakened, provided it is contained. Meaning, if not contained in special electromagnetic storage, it tends to start breaking atomic bonds of any matter it has physical contact with, and reconstructing it into easily transportable resources.
Scripture and blood compose harmony. Follow our hallowed temple halls and listen to the echoes of your ripples. Our bones are more beautiful than yours.
See if there's any more sand in our immediate area. Not unless you need any more than that. Oh my goodness. No. Okay. Tyrion, that's what we need next. Too much Caterium around. You don't need that much at first, I guess. Alright. Just let's see, I can probably make some real sand real quick. Yeah, let's do that. It makes a black powder, but I don't have any pipes yet. Sand fluctuator, or for the risk. Okay, one more thing. We're gonna go explore. The frames born. Reverse 2. Game 3. Cable 4. Wire 5. Plate 6.
Damaged hard drive successfully acquired. All pioneers are contractually obliged to preserve and secure any recovered hard drives for analysis in the MAM, which may result in benefits to the Fix-It mission. Speculation as to why there are crashed freighters in your Fix-It designated zone is discouraged as specified in your contract. Limestone and normal coal. Very interesting. This semi-slug species seems to persist entirely through absorbing and storing energy from its surroundings. Studying this could provide new methods for improving fixit production line efficiency. Research it in the MAM to establish classification and potential application.
Very interesting. What did these used to be? Iron. Oil. Sand. Very interesting. Copper. Oil. Copper. Coal. There's some container. More oil. Pure copper. That was limestone, I think. Another pure copper.
The hard drive contained both data and the soul of this freighter. Disconnecting it has destroyed the soul, but the data can be analyzed in the MAM, so everything is okay. Samples of unknown alien species acquired. It is unclear where on the flora or fauna spectrum it lies, but initial data suggests this might be a nest or an egg. Research the remains in the MAM to establish classification and potential countermeasures.
I think I see uranium right there. It's normal copper. Normal iron.
The remains researched belong to a plant-like organism hosting the larva of the flying crab, the most mature of which hatch when threatened. Hatcher remains can now be made into alien protein, and additional research may reveal options for improving Pioneer's safety during exploration. Research completed. Silica recipe unlocked. New quartz research available.
I think I'm going to be a tiny bit short on my silica.
Blade Runners unlocked. Equipped to run faster, jump with greater force, and decrease fall damage that might otherwise have lowered your value to fix it.
1 modular frame, 20 silica, and 4 rotors. That is achievable next time around.
This mushroom, dubbed bacon agaric due to its uncanny resemblance to raw bacon, is compatible with the human digestive system and has been added to the object scanner. Further research is available.
Alright.
Research completed. Alien protein can now be turned into biomass or alien DNA capsules. In addition to being used for research, the invaluable alien lifeform data in these capsules can be traded for fix-it coupons at the Awesome Sink. We guarantee the best capsule to coupon exchange rate anywhere on this planet.
Power slugs.
This semi-slug, now dubbed Power Slug, is early in its life cycle and has retained only part of its potential energy storage capacity, giving it its blue color. Power slugs are capable of extracting latent energy from their surroundings, including through a form of photosynthesis, and preserve it in their porous semi-crystalline shell over their lifetime. This explains why they rarely move after having found a suitable location. Power slugs extract latent energy from their surroundings to sustain themselves. By tuning the object scanner to the particular potential energy signature, it is now able to locate them against the background environmental static. Overclocking development completed. Power shards can now be inserted into all buildings to increase input and output speed. Underclocking is also possible. Note: power consumption of overclocked buildings increases exponentially.
Alright. It has been 2¼ hours. The video will not be 2¼ hours long. That's going to be cut. We will, it may even be split for all I know. We will pick this up at another time. Start a hard drive. Since we don't have part assembly yet, we should get cast screws, most likely. Cast screws, iron wire, and inventory slots. Technically get all three with the 3 hard drives I have. We'll see if that's how we go. I can make a chainsaw with more screws. I can make an object scanner with more screws. I can make Blade Runner with some silica. And 1 modular frame. I have 3. I have the rotors. I can make black powder, but I don't have the iron pipes yet, so there's not much point at this point doing that. Let's see if there's anything we can do crafting wise that's interesting. Reanimated SAM anytime we want. Alien protein, biomass. DNA capsules. We don't have the sinks yet. So there's no point in that. Alright. I believe it's about time to start building a factory, which means concrete. We will do that next time. Manta got reskinned. Very nice. I just wanted to add the world map. Thanks to the people at Satisfactory Calculator who have updated the website to handle 1.2 saves with random nodes. And who also weathered a distributed denial of service attack the other day. So good job to them for making it through that. But here's the world map so far, and we'll see you soon with another episode.